Today on Car Traction, I'm going to introduce you to my little friend. This is the cheapest performance air filter available today. It cost me £11, and today I'm going to be fitting it to my 1.2 litre 3-cylinder Volkswagen Fox. And let's see what difference it makes. Here is the mighty power plant of my 2010 Volkswagen Fox. The 1.2 litre 3-cylinder, as you can see here, is the standard air intake. You can see there's there, down there and there. Now Volkswagen probably spent millions developing this system for maximum comfort and efficiency, but today we're tearing it out for an £11 air filter. So I think I'll get some tools out and sort out, first of all, just removing this old setup here. So, with lots of experience on working on aging cars like this and the classic cars here at Old Classic Car HQ, they all have the same problems when they start to get on. The camera probably won't show it, but these screws are mush. They are absolutely awful, and even if we were being sensible doing a service of this car to replace just the normal old style air filter, those would have to come undone.
All rusted up.
And they're just gone to mush. They are absolutely awful. So I'm going to break out the drill. I think Dad will probably drill these just because I don't really want to wreck something up with my fairly limited experience. So I'm sure that's going to be fun for Dad, especially that one at the back there. So anything to do with a slightly aging car is going to be rusted up and stuff. So let's see if Dad is able to have a go at drilling out these horrible, horrible rusty old screws. About 30 minutes and a lot of fighting later, we have the old air filter out, and this doesn't look like the most efficient thing in the world.
It's not been replaced in a
Definitely needed changing. Yeah. So even if I wasn't being a boy racer and putting this on, I would have had to do exactly that anyway. But that is just horrible. It's all clacked up.
But that's not been off in years. And the screws were just rusted away to nothing. So we had to drill and. Well,
it was a big fight.
It was a bit.
But thankfully that should be most of the fighting done. So that can go there, because we're obviously not going to be using that again. And in theory, somehow this should basically just sort of go on there, but I'm not exactly sure how.
We'll have to figure that out. We've got some space.
Yes.
Got some adapters somewhere
in the box. There's the Jubilee clip.
Yep.
And the £11 filter came with these, which are sort of like adapter plates that go inside there.
Yep.
Let's see which one of
We'll
those.
have to figure that out.
Sort of moved a tiny bit. Just tightening the Jubilee clip just to see if it actually works. This isn't final. We've now put the air filter on. We needed two people to put on, me holding it, Dad tightening it up. I couldn't really show a lot of the fitting because we needed two sets of hands, but that's on now, so let's see what it sounds like. So with this new air intake, it should sound sort of more raucous, sort of, on the intake, which is the sound I was looking for. So here we go. First of all, just on the idle, there's no check engine light, so that's good. That's shaking around a little bit, so we might have to sort something out. But I think let's give it a few revs. But what I'll do now is I'll put in a clip I recorded earlier of the car revving before I put this air filter on. So take a little listen to that. And now that you've seen what it sounds like before the air filter, let's see what it sounds like with a few revs with the air filter. I'm looking forward to this. Now for 11 quid, I'm absolutely thrilled with that. There's still a little bit of tuning probably to do with making sure that doesn't rattle, but what a transformation of sound, isn't it? It sounds so much more guttural and deep. The intake is just fantastic for only 11 quid. So I'm very, very happy with that. Dad just took out the little Fox for a spin up the road as I'm actually still 16. I can't quite drive my own car yet and I'm already putting a little mod on it in the form of my £11 performance air intake, and to be honest, for £11 I'm absolutely thrilled with it. It just has that sort of raucous intake growl that I've absolutely loved being a classic car fan. And it also sounds nicer at the back somehow. Maybe the throttle response a bit sharper as well, but I'm absolutely thrilled with that. For £11, I'll try and record another couple of sound clips. It's just absolutely fantastic. A really affordable first car modification. And the only thing to do now is a little bit of tinkering around at the front, because I think the air filter is rattling a little bit at the front there, so we'll have to maybe shove a bit of sponge or something in between it and the old airbox container there. Engine light not on, so we're all good, but that has really transformed the sound for such a small amount of money. This car, really happy with that. Not so loud that it's horrible, just a little bit more sharper. Little bit of adjustment and tyre wrappage. I think that is all good there. I'm so happy with this modification on my Volkswagen Fox. Absolutely can't wait to drive it. I'll hop inside and give it a few little blips so that you can also hear what effect this has had on the inside sound of the mighty 1.2 litre 3-cylinder. This car has a soft limiter at 4,000 RPM, so I won't be able to hear all of the intake growl. Oh, hello Dad.
Sure you don't want this one as a souvenir?
Why would I ever want to keep that?
It certainly needed doing.
That's the old air filter, and now we've got bright blue up front, so that's good. So I'll just shut the door and record just a few little blips, so you can hear the sound difference on the inside. You can hear a lot more of the air being sucked into the engine. I'll turn the blower off actually. Yes, so I'm absolutely thrilled with how this has come out on my little Volkswagen Fox. £11 to make it sound this much better. I think everyone should have one of these air filters. It was the cheapest air filter I could find, and to be honest it sounds just as good as any other sort of performance air filter I've ever heard. Really happy with that. I know a lot of people will say, and I do notice that the original manufacturer setup, the air intake was there, and that means there's going to be a lot more cold air direct from the sort of airflow of the car, then it would all go around there, which is probably actually quite restricting, as now it is going to experience a little bit more heat here, so it's probably a hot air intake. So as the air around here is hotter than the air here, it probably won't add horsepower, to be honest. Some people say it reduces it, some people say it increases it, some people say it increases it higher in the rev range, I don't know, but to be honest, I just put this on because it was cheap, at just over 10 quid, and because it sounds cool. I love the analogue sound of the sort of raucous, rough intake on the sound of sort of escort rally cars and various classic cars, and being a classic and racing car enthusiast, why would I not want to make my little daily sound that a little bit more like those? So do let me know what you think about my bright blue filter on the front of the wonderful Volkswagen Fox in the comments below. Let me know if you'd like to see more videos on this car. Even though it's a modern, it is certainly not a classic, and Car Attraction is mostly about classic cars, but do let me know if you want to see more about this little yellow car. And yep, thanks for watching, and bye for now.